Hi, it's Gayle Palmer here at the Living Elements Clinic again. So some more top tips to help keep you cool is to create a cooling pad around your neck. And for this, it's really simple. You will have everything you need at home. You will need some cling film, tea towels, clean, and water supply. So all I'm going to do is literally just lay the tea towels out and get them really nice and damp. I'm going to get absolutely covered with water, but never mind. Funnily enough, it's so hot, will dry off quickly. This hack takes absolute minutes, I'm hoping, because the most difficult part is yet to come. So just rinse out or squeeze out the worst of the moisture, but you need to have some moisture left in there, okay? Give the plants a bit of water. Okay, we're ready. So the idea is that you form a sausage. So you get about half a palm's width. We'll prepare them as we go. This one's going to be a slightly longer sausage, so that when you finish, you've got it right round your neck. Then, this is the fun bit, as you've got all the water everywhere. Possibly ideal not to do this outside when there's a little breeze. But anyway, we're going to see how we get on. 2 chances, haven't we? So, let's take, not the longest one. Lay your wet cloth in the middle. Fold over, it's a bit like wrapping a present this really, your cling film. Try and get as much air out as possible because it'll make life a little bit difficult later. So that's one done. Let's see if we can get the cling film out there. Doesn't have to be perfect, it's a working experiment. Lay it on, fold over, as in wrap. Tie up the ends. And the last one. Whoops, lost the end. Where's the surprise? Not. Did this just now. It tied itself up. Let's go do it again. Come on. Where's your end? There we are. Wrap and wrap, and then I'm going to put these, instead of putting them in the freezer, my little sausages, I'm going to put them in the fridge, and then they'll get to a nice temperature. If you put them in the freezer, it'll be too cold, you'll end up with an iceburn. Not very clever around your neck. But these, as they cool down, will keep you nice and cool around your neck. Help to cool your carotid arteries a little bit, and you won't end up with a completely damp neck at the same time. And then once they've warmed up a bit, you can literally replace them. You can leave it just as a wet tea towel, that works fine as well, but it occurred to me that having water dripping down my neck for the day is probably not the most comfortable thing to do. So I hope that that really helps. The other thought that I've had, make up some containers with some ice in them. Just put blocks of ice effectively in the container, and if you put those in front of a fan, as they melt the ice in the container, leave the lid on. That will help cool the air and help you keep cool without increasing the humidity. Come Tuesday, the humidity is going to get really high, so we although you need to have your windows closed, your curtains closed to keep the heat in, if your house is properly insulated, you don't want to increase the humidity because that makes you feel really uncomfortable. So sealed blocks of ice, sealed containers with ice will make a huge difference. I hope those 2 tips help you, and I will see you soon. That's Gayle Palmer at The Living Elements, where your health is my priority.